I can assure you, and those of you veterans here now can assure that those who were there have seldom stopped reflecting. But it's long past time for the rest of us to understand the experience. Telling the story, hearing it, and reflecting on it, this is a burden that we all share with those who were there. And so tonight I would like to just reflect with you my effort to think about the days of that war that the sailor said in the days now ended, for many years and many days to reflect on the human experience of the Americans who served in Vietnam. So my book tries to tell a story of, reminds us of some of the members of this generation. It's enriched by over 160 interviews that I completed with men and women who served in combat or in medical units in Vietnam. Now, my focus was primarily on the ground troops. I talked to Army infantry and Marines, people who fought. I talked to those who were out in the jungle, up in the highlands, out in the Delta, because I was trying to describe in some greater detail who died, who was there, and I wanted to talk to those who were with them. And I also focus in on the spring of 1969, which I do think was a pivot point in the nature of the war. I talked to each of the people I interviewed about why they went, what they thought about going to Vietnam. I talked to them about the experience of serving there, about being with friends when they died, and about coming home, and about the years after they've come home. And I also interviewed members of families who confronted a military delegate at the front door and who told them that their son or daughter or spouse would not be coming home. I wanted to tell the stories of the human faces and the human tragedies of war. Just sharing these stories is something I think is important. I find it particularly troubling that the only name that most Americans would know of a Vietnam veteran was Lieutenant William Calley, who led that small AmeriCorps unit at My Lai. There were some truly impressive kids who served in Vietnam. They did some remarkable things. They did them on our behalf. Americans need to remember this. They were there on our behalf. You were there on our behalf. But few noticed and few thanked them.